Hello. Wow. Hi. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. I know you're probably wondering what's going on. Where's the guest? Where's the celebrity guest? It's me. Actually, it's just me alone. And this is something new that I'm doing. Calm down, please, studio audience. Please shut up. Shut up. Enough. Thank you. Hi. I'm Jordan, and welcome to episode 1 of Gay Noise. Clap. Yes, we're here. So, you know what? I just want to start by saying, Hey Girl is done. Hey Girl is over. There will be no more episodes. At this point, I'm just kind of done. It's time to move on. I'm just kidding. That's not happening. Still going to do Hey Girl. I have a couple episodes backlogged. I'm still pre-recording episodes. When I get to a target number, a specific number of episodes, then they'll come out. But I want to do this thing, and I've had this idea for so long. Probably like 2 years now I've had this idea. And there have been several times where I've actually gotten ready to sit down and record this, and I just chickened out because the voices, the panic attacks of it all. But this is Gay Noise. Ugh, fucking noise. So what this is the solo podcast where it's just me alone, and my guest is you. But more on that later. First things first, I do want to discuss what this is, what it's going to be. So pretty much it's just me talking about whatever I want to talk about. I do have a list of things because I always come prepared. Adiva always does her homework. I just want to briefly go over the sort of agenda for today, what to expect. I had an altercation at a Shake Shack at the Century City Mall. And I want to share my side of the story before it goes out of hand and becomes too much, and then I can't speak for myself. So that's going to be discussed. Also, I've been thinking a lot about chicken's feet and what it means to us. It'll make sense later, but it was a thought I had. I might have just hit my Penman for Lopez a little too hard and had a sort of existential question about feet, specifically starting with chicken's feet, and then I went down this rabbit hole that I will share with you all in a moment. Also, I want to talk about pop culture things. I have a list of things here. Okay, I saw Spider-Man twice. We must discuss. I'm going to try to avoid spoilers, but at this point, the twist of the movie is kind of the worst kept secret in Hollywood. So maybe I can just spill it and you'll just have to get over it. I don't know. I do want to talk about Avengers Doomsday and what it means to me and whatever is undiagnosed in my brain that is obsessing over this movie. I did see The Odyssey. I have thoughts. And I've been specifically also thinking about Lady Gaga's performance in The Devil Wears Prada 2. And it's taking everything in me to not just get into it right now, but I'm going to wait. This is the tease. Also, TV, Real Housewives of Orange County just started this week. I watched the episode. There is a new housewife. I like her. I do. Anyway, I have issues with certain things that I'm going to try not to spill right now. Big Brother. I've been watching Big Brother. We're going to talk about that. Project Runway, Down Under versus the World. Don't piss me off. Down Under versus the World. Let me turn on Do Not Disturb because now that I'm sitting down and trying to record some shit, everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to talk. People I don't even know, don't even like. Everybody wants to talk. Okay. I am reading the Heated Rivalry books a second time because, high anxiety individuals, we watch things twice, we read books twice because it helps us to know exactly what's happening. I have mockles. Oh my God. It's because it's so cold in here. Whatever, it's fine. It's going to get crusty and it's going to be good. And I know I mentioned earlier that my guest is you. And what I mean by that is this podcast is going to feature voicemails sent in by Hugh. So if you would like to leave a voicemail, I already have some stockpiled that I did a thing where I posted the phone number a long time ago and then kind of forgot about it. But I have a bunch of voicemails and several are very racist and horrible. So we're going to listen to those. The phone number is 213-421-1422. 213-421-1422. It's the easiest number to memorize. I really took my time to make sure that I got a number that was really easy for people to memorize. So you're so very welcome for that. Please clap. Thank you. I work really hard. I'm hard at work. Yes. And I also work hard. So there's that. Rick! Oh, who said that? Who said that? Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh my God, Girls Trip is coming. Did you all see the clip with Nene? Oh my gosh. I have to I have to collect my brain and like focus on the list. First things first, I need to address the Shake Shack incident because this is most recently on my mind lately. So I need to preface this story by saying I had tickets to see Spider-Man. This was my second time seeing the movie. So I went to the Century City Mall. It was on a day where the food court was closed, but the Shake Shack was going to be open late. So we agreed to go to Shake Shack. We get in line. I'm with my friend Drew, and there's nobody at the register, so we have to order at the iPads, which is fine. I'd prefer to do that at the iPad anyway because I just think it's faster and easier. So I order at the iPad, do my thing, go wait for my food, as I do usually. I always go to Shake Shack. I love Shake Shack. It's one of my favorite places. So I order the food. 20 minutes goes by. No food. I'm like, what's going on? There's no food. I'm like, okay, well, the movie's going to start in like 5 minutes. So I'm just going to be patient and wait. So me and my friend get our food around the same time. He notices that there's a bunch of lettuce in the bag. And so we go to the counter and I'm like, what? My food has lettuce? His food has lettuce? What's going on? The girl tells us they've run out of buns. So my immediate thought is rage, because why is it not posted somewhere? Hey, by the way, if you're going to order, just know we don't have buns. I would have ordered something else because truthfully, it's the only thing open to get food right now. And what you do is burgers. How do you run out of buns? How does that happen? What decisions were not made or made poorly that led you to this point to then not even want to tell people that you don't have buns? Because the chicken nuggets at Shake Shack are sickening. I would have just ordered the chicken nuggets. I would have just gotten more chicken nuggets and it would have been fine. So my friend goes, well, I can't really eat this because I don't just want to eat lettuce, especially now everyone's like scared of lettuce. So like that's a concern too, valid. And so the manager comes up to him and goes, oh, I can just give you a refund. And he's like, okay, sure, I guess. So the man takes the bag of food from my friend because the receipt's on the bag. And he processes the refund and takes the food back. So at this point, I know how this works. I know the game that he's playing. That food is going to go in the trash. So I take my bag of food, I go outside and leave it on a table with Joey, and I take the receipt, and I go back inside and I say, I want a refund for this food. And he's like, oh, well, did you get the food? And I said, yes, but I'm not going to give it back to you because you're just going to throw it away, right? And he was like, well, yeah, I can't give it away. And I was like, yeah, you took my friend's food from him. You just took the bag from him and then took the food away, and then there was no discussion about it. So you won't be doing that with me. I want my refund. And also, I didn't get the Coke Zero that I ordered, so I would like that too. And he was like, okay. Well, we gave him like, he said, we gave your friend like a meal card. And I was like, I don't want a meal card. It doesn't help me right now. It does not help me today because I'm here because you're the only restaurant open right now. So this doesn't help me. Getting a fucking coupon for a burger that I can come back later and get does not help me today. So I just want my money back. And I just ate whatever I could from the food and was like, it's fine. So that drove me absolutely insane. And what he doesn't understand is like, I'm on a peptide. I'm just going to be upfront, but I'm on a peptide. And on the specific peptide I'm on, I can't eat for 3 hours before I do the shot. So I eat before the movie's 2.5 hours. I go home, wait till, the right time. Then I do my peptide and I go to bed. So in my mind, I'm like, this is the only thing I'm going to be able to eat till tomorrow. And I have not eaten in hours. I went to the gym earlier that day, had a little protein shake after the gym, and then specifically did not eat to save my calories for this meal. So if you're telling me this meal's not going to happen for me and you were going to take the food away from me, I'm jumping over the counter and I'm ripping someone's face off. Just out of like, I'm hungry. I'm just a girl. I'm hungry. So I did end up just like chugging a bunch of water so I could feel full, and then I went to bed because what else was I going to do? So I don't know what happened. They also ran out of ice. How do you run out of ice? That was like another thing that was driving me crazy. Like, you ran out of ice. And then while we were sitting outside, I saw the manager and one of the employees with buckets walk over to the tender greens where the employees were closing out, and they were banging on the glass to get their attention. And those employees could not be bothered. They were like, nope, I don't see you. I don't see you. I don't hear you. I don't see you. Because they just wanted to get ice. But also, here's another point. There's a Gelson's in the mall. Send someone over there and get some fucking buns, please. Like, what was happening? What is like, I worked in customer service for like over a decade. I've never seen anything like this before. And I never ever complain when I go places. I never have issues. I'm so easy. I get my number, whatever, and I sit down and I shut up. And I'm not the kind of person who asks the waiter for a ton of shit either. I hate that. I hate when that happens. When the food comes out, if there's anything you're missing, you ask for it, then you get your, and you leave them alone. You leave them alone. They have enough to worry about. Which, oh my God, the wire is driving me crazy. Hold please. This wire is, okay, is that better? I think that's better. But stuff like that, like, drives me up the wall and across the ceiling, especially with food. I don't understand. I feel like I'm the easiest person to please. I order my little cheesy burgie, my little french fries. That's all. But to not communicate that you don't have buns is actually crazy. And speaking of people asking for too much stuff at a restaurant, I was at Norm's recently. This is crazy. I'm sitting down at Norm's. It's the weekend of WeHo Pride. It's late. 2 women walk in, and I go, huh, these women look suspiciously like the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Whatever. Then I start to, like, hear their conversations, and we got more boogers. Oh, my gosh. So they're the kind of people who ask the waiter for so many things. She orders the food. The food comes out. Oh, can I have this? Oh, and can I have this? The server brings that out. Oh, can I also have this? Can I also have this? Can I have a side of ranch? Can I have some fresh strawberries? She asked for fresh strawberries. It was fresh strawberry. I don't know why you're asking for This is Norm's. This is Norm's. Why are you coming here asking for shit like, you know, like this is 5 stars? This is not 5 star. Okay? This is Norm's. Stop asking for weird shit. It's weird. Then I turn to look at them and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks suspiciously like Kelly and Shamia from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Huh. I think nothing of it. Because why would I assume that the Real Housewives would be eating at Norm's? I don't know. It just didn't compute in my brain. Then finally, as we were leaving, my boyfriend was like, girl, that was the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I was like, you're kidding me. Because I saw them walk in and sit down. And I thought, oh, wow, that looks suspiciously like Kelly and Shamia. Okay. And then I just didn't think about it again. But all I could think was, wow, these women are very difficult customers. They better tip well because they're asking for a lot. They're making this man work. I order my food. It comes. I already have ketchup on the table. That's all I need. Thank you. See you later. When I'm ready to pay for the food. Thank you so much. That's all. I don't know why people like to ask for shit. Like, I'm not about that, like, making your server or person earn their tip. I think that's weird. Just eat your food and hush. That's all. Speaking of food, let's talk about the chicken feet of it all. Because I had this weird, like, I want to say sheepiphany, if you will, about not pig's feet. Well, pig's feet also, but it started with the chicken's feet. Because I was watching something and people were eating chicken's feet, and I thought, okay, that's interesting. Are they eating the toenails? Are they eating the toenails as well as the bones in the foot? Because there's no meat on the foot. So please, somebody, if you know, comment below. Do you eat the chicken feet with the bone and the toenails? Now my head is racing. I'm like, what if the chicken has acrylics? Can you eat, like, what if the chicken just got her nails done and you're eating her feet and now you're eating her acrylics? Is the nail polish bad to eat? There's lead in that. And then I think about people who like feet, the feet people. So if you're somebody who's into feet, does that mean you're more like genetically predisposed to enjoy eating chicken's feet or pig's feet? Like, does it look more appetizing to you? And at what point does the eating and the consumption of the animal feet verge on bestiality? That's the question that I want to know. Like, is it only bad if your nipples get hard when you take a bite? Or are you one of those people who moans while you eat? Like that guy on TikTok, the guy who does, mood, you guys. Do you know what I'm talking about? James. Love him. Love his content. Love watching him eat. A little scary. It's a little scary, a little concerning. But he does like sex moans. Like people who mukbang on the internet who eat a lot of food, they'll be like, and they're like eating a piece of pizza. Honestly, I relate. I've been to Cheesecake Factory. I know what it's like. People who know me know how sick and tired they are about me talking about chain restaurants. Cheesecake Factory is what happens when Chili's and Applebee's put on a good lace front. It's no secret. It's my favorite place in the world. I love it. I'm sure there will come a time on this where I go on and on and on about the Cheesecake Factory and how I know all the cheesecakes and what's good and what's not. I have like 7 usuals at the factory. I don't play about the factory. I saw that guy who said he was going to do the merch for the factory on the TikTok. He did like he's like a designer or something. I want the bread hat. I want the hoodie. I want all of it. I don't play. Okay. The time has come to discuss Spider-Man Brand New Day. Clap. If you have not seen this movie by now, what are you waiting for, first of all? It had one of the biggest opening weekends ever. I think Marvel now holds the record for like the 2 biggest openings. I'm in 3rd place, I fear. The movie was everything I needed it to be. Sometimes you get really hyped up about movies and you kind of set yourself up for disappointment because you want it to be so amazing and the greatest thing you've ever seen, and that no matter how good it is, it will never be that. But this was everything I needed it to be. There was the spell of Doctor Strange in the previous movie and how MJ and Ned didn't know who he was, but they still had memories of Spider-Man. So it drives them crazy because it's like we have all these memories of Spider-Man saving our lives and knowing us, but we don't know who he is. And I think this is going to come back later. Aside from the villain of the movie being, a certain someone who I think we all kind of knew it was going to be her. We knew it was going to be her. I'm going to give you guys this week without the spoiler. Next week, when I do next week's episode, I'm going to address it and I'm going to say her name and I'm going to like spill all the tea because at that point, you've had enough time. You've had enough time to see the movie. It's time to just air it out. But I really want to discuss this spell that happened in the last movie. So at the end of the movie, if you don't know, Peter pretty much, basically because he was outed by Mysterio in the second movie, he asked Doctor Strange to cast a spell so that people would forget who Peter Parker was. And he said, great, so everyone's going to forget who you are. Great. And he goes, wait, well, what about, Ned and MJ and Aunt May and like, the certain people that I want to know who I am? And he's like, well, okay, sure. And that messed up the spell. It brought in all these multiversal beings. The villains and the Peter Parkers from other universes come in and whatever happens, happens. And at the end of the movie, he finally goes, okay, make everyone forget that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. So everybody who knew him as Peter Parker forgets that he's Peter Parker. Everyone who knows Spider-Man only knows Spider-Man. They don't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So they restart this movie with this in mind. Then the realization that Spider-Man is still remembered by these people, but Peter Parker is not, it sets in. And then he writes that letter to MJ. And bitch, it exposes everything. And he has these moments where he's like about to give it to her. He's about to like expose himself to her emotionally, not physically. Although the feet, if you saw the feet in the Russian bath, comment down below. Put a little foot emoji or something. But she ends up finding the letter and reading it. And then straight up looks at him and goes, whoever this girl is that you knew, I'm glad you did what you did to save her, but I'm not that girl and I don't love you. Can you take me home? That's what she said to him. She said, I don't know you. I don't love you. I just have nothing. I don't even know you at all. Like you're just like a nice guy. And he's crying in front of her. And she goes, okay, so you're going to take me home? So that's what happens. There's a really evil, disgusting thing that the villain does to MJ in the movie. If you know what I'm talking about. Where they were on the rooftop. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to be nice this week. Next week, I will bring this up again, and I'm going to spill all the details about the villain and everything that happens because it's crazy. And it sets up Doomsday in a way that I don't think people fully understand just yet. Because the after credit scene shows the spider tracker that Ned created. And it shows a second Peter Parker off in space. And there is a rumor that there is an incursion involving Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's universe colliding with either our universe or the Fox X-Men universe. And so that could be that second Spider-Man signature coming in because of the incursion of the 2 universes colliding in space. And such as in henceforth. And so that, I think, is going to happen in Avengers Doomsday. We'll find out in a couple months. December 18th. Also, look at my nail. This is crazy. It's so crooked. It's fine. So anyway, watch Spider-Man. It's sickening. I've seen it twice. I would see it again. I would see it a third time. Because why not? And Avengers Doomsday is going to be sickening. Doctor Doom is, I believe, the greatest villain in Marvel, all of Marvel. So I don't know where they go after this. I guess, the Mutant Saga is going to happen after this. And that'll take up a couple years. But then what? Oh my God, we're also getting Vision Quest. Vision Quest, I think in September or October, along with the Avengers Endgame Encore. That's going to go back into theaters with the extra footage. So I can't wait to discuss that to those who care. Also, The Odyssey. Bitch, Tom Holland and Zendaya are working. These girls, they're busy. Apparently, they're going to take a nice long break after this, press run because, why wouldn't they? I also don't think that Tom Holland is going to be in Doomsday, unfortunately. I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, I forgot to mention, thoughts on Ned potentially becoming a villain? Hear me out. Hobgoblin? Ma'am? Because his obsession with Peter Parker, he has that wall of pictures of Peter. He's trying to figure out who he is. He builds the app to track his location. It feels a little like this is verging on obsession in a way that can lead to villainy. I want us to put a pin in this because I do believe that in the next couple Spider-Man movies that are going to happen, we're going to see two things, possibly. I predict Ned becomes a villain. I also predict Venom making a return because there's that after credit scene, where Venom's licking the TV and it's Tom Holland, Peter Parker, and he wants that twink. It's going to happen. Let's put it on the record now. And then when it happens, I'll come back and I'll be like, see, I have the mind of a master. My mind it stays working. It's because my hair's so big. It's full of thoughts and unpopular truths, honey. Because yes, So that's what I think is going to happen. And The Odyssey. Girl. Honestly, it was good. I liked The Odyssey. It was long. It was long. Visually beautiful, sickening. Anne Hathaway looks beautiful in that film. And that's all. Okay. The Devil Wears Prada 2. I know we're late. We've seen it in theaters like a million times, but I have to discuss this because it's been on my mind lately. And it came up in conversation the other day. I don't even remember who I was with when I was like, okay, am I the only one who thinks that Gaga's performance in that movie was strange? Hear me out. She's playing herself. But it almost wasn't herself. It was like a version of herself that isn't really her. Like, she was asked to be like this sort of bitchy, mean pop star, and that's just not who she is. So when I was watching her be mean to Miranda Priestley and be like, who let her in here? I was like, girl, this is not okay. This isn't you. Like, you would never talk to someone like that, mother. It's kindness. That's what you do. So I just thought it was strange. And then I had the thought of like, is the hardest thing for her to do as an actress is to just be herself? I believe it was Jamie Lee Curtis who once said, while she was, between takes of the poop yogurt, that when she sort of unlocked her potential as an actress was when she fully learned to just be herself on camera. They say the most interesting thing is what really happened. And I think she approaches the role, Jamie Lee Curtis specifically, in the sense of, I just need to be as natural and as humanly as possible. And sometimes that means you're just being yourself. You're just being the same person in every role. Kind of like certain actors, like Michael Cera has this sort of thing where he just plays kind of the same person over and over again, but it's so engaging because it's so honest. And that's because it's who he is. So when Gaga was asked to play a version of herself that wasn't herself, I just felt like it was kind of like a miss in a way. Like, it could have been funny and like a farce, but it didn't feel that way when I watched it. And then I thought, well, she's in the House of Gucci doing the Australian accent. She's in House of Gucci doing the Italian accent, sounding like Chef Boyardee at the Olive Garden. And I felt like that was somehow more engaging and more interesting than seeing her play herself. Why is that? I think the big thing for me was that she was being a bitch, and we know she's not a bitch. We know she's not that girl. Some of these other girls are that girl, and that would work for them. But she's not that girl. So don't be that girl if you're not that girl. Girl. That's all. Okay, Real Housewives of Orange County started last night. Please clap. Yes, I did sit through the first 2 episodes that are out. I have thoughts. This new housewife whose name I can't remember. Love her. The Playboy. She's a Playboy bunny. She's sickening. She's hot. I love that her and Shannon are so friendly because they are such polar opposites. Shannon is like Shannon, not Shannon. Shannon is like the Sutton. Hear me out. The Sutton of Orange County. Older, divorced, a little kooky, verging on unlikable. Probably very unlikable. Probably the kind of person who asks the waiter for too many things at a restaurant. That's just how I feel about her. And that stupid cat sweater. I feel the same way about Sutton too. Sutton and Shannon, I feel like they're probably besties. But the fact that Sutton is like attaching herself to the new housewife, whose name I still can't remember. Comment below, please remind me her name. She's lovely. She's sickening. But it's almost like Shannon has no allies in the group anymore. Now that Vicky's back, she's kind of got Vicky. But they kind of, like, Vicky tends to do this thing where she just goes back and forth and back and forth. She loves Tamara. She hates Tamara. She hates Heather. She loves Heather. I think Heather hate each other in this first episode. I just don't know what the deal is with Vicky. Also, I had an encounter with Vicky Gunvalson recently. It was like a year ago. And it was very unpleasant. And I would love to air this out now because what have I got to lose? So, Vicky Gunvalson and I were both contestants on an episode of the 1% Club, season 1, episode 4, hosted by Patton Oswalt. You can stream it on Amazon Prime. And I was in drag, and I was in the game show, and Vicky Gunvalson was supposed to be one of the contestants on the episode. And when she got there, we noticed that, like, she was very anxious. I could tell that she was very stressed. I don't think that she knew what she was signing up for when she agreed to do the show, that it was going to be like a quiz show and she's going to have to answer questions and like do puzzles and shit. And I could see her talking to production and she was like visibly shaken and upset. And so, of course, I kind of like, because I'm nosy. I don't care. I'm nosy as hell. I wiggle in. I open my ear hole. I'm like, hello, diva. What's going on over there? And I hear her say, I'm panicking. I'm freaking out because I just didn't know that this was going to be what this was. And I was like, why do 3 producers have to come calm you down because you're too shy to do a game show? And she obviously didn't want to stay the whole time. But this worked out in my favor. And I'll tell you why. Because I had originally been planned to be seated up near the top of the stage and the back near an aisle. And because she wanted to leave once she got eliminated, because you're supposed to stay the whole time, she wanted to leave as soon as she was eliminated. So they made the exception for her, but they said, okay, Vicky, well, we're going to have you in the front row, but we're going to have to switch your seat so you're close to an aisle so that way you can get a clean exit and we can sort of cut around it more easily. Which means producer walks up to me and goes, hello, Jordan, you will be switching seats with Miss Vicky Gunvalson. So I got to go sit in her little front row seat. And she went to the back in the aisle. And after seeing her sort of like yell and be rude to the production staff, I did try to say hello. And she just kind of looked at me and like gave me like a little. And then sat down. And I thought, okay, bitch. This is what we're doing. This is not the Real Housewives of Orange County. Remember that fight with Nene and LaToya, Casper the Ghost, LaToya Jackson? When LaToya said, this is not the Real Housewives. And Nene said, sweetie, I tower over you. I'll break you in half. Come on now. So, and ever since I had that experience with Vicky Gunvalson on that show, I see her on TV and I go, oh yeah, you're that girl. You're that girl who like complains a lot. I don't like that. Nene, however, Lenithia Leaks. The way I am squirting with excitement seeing her back on my television screens. This girls trip is going to be so sickening, especially because we were deprived of the last season that never came out because you know why. You know why that season never came out, girl. Because Brandi Glanville and Caroline Manzo Hello, do we know the drama? You girls know the drama. There was like an SA situation allegedly. Allegedly. Do I have the Wendy Williams allegedly? Here we go. Allegedly, there was like an SA situation that involved legalities, and there was something. It sounds like, because I don't know anything. Obviously, I'm just a cross-dresser on a couch. Like, what am I? Like, I'm not like an investigator. I don't know. But what it sounds like happened was that Brandy, obviously a little drunk, kind of like crossed a boundary with Caroline Manzo physically.
Allegedly.
And it became so disturbing that Caroline Manzo now apparently is seeking legal action against the production.
Allegedly.
And it has resulted in this season being scrapped.
Allegedly.
Which is why we're never going to see this season.
Allegedly.
At this point, it's been like years since it, happened. So whatever. But I'm excited for this new one that's going to happen. I'll report back next week after I see the premiere episode, because by that point it will be out. And I'm just waiting for Nene Leakes to have one of these moments.
I said what I said.
Because she did kind of invent that phrase. Drag queens have appropriated it to Misha Iman. I've repeated it.
What I said.
I've heard, multiple TV personalities try to do this.
I said what I said.
And it's nothing like when Nene did it. When Nene told Kim Zolciak that she was going to pop her eyes out and wring her neck, bloop, bloop, that was crazy. When she said, go to bed, wig, close your legs to married men, I was like 12 years old, getting my life. I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Close your legs to married men and go to bed, trash box. Good night, wig. As I sit here in a wig. Girl, let me stop. When Sheree said, I don't want to take her wig off, I just wanted to shift it a little bit. That was a cultural reset that changed my life. When I tell you, I still think about that moment all the time. All the time. And where's Kim Zolciak? Kim Zolciak, if you're in the chat, please stand. I do love Next Gen New York City. I love Ariana. I think she's sickening. The way she aired out her mom's tea saying, oh yeah, my mom took all my money. And that crazy divorce. Girl, get Kim Zolciak, get back on. We need to know what's happening. Get back. Andy Cohen, I know you're watching. Delusion. Delusions. Get Kim Zolciak back on something. She appeared on the Atlanta Housewives for like a dinner. Her and Lisa Wu. I believe she had her Mary J. Blige No More Drama hairdo. You know, the wig that you do this and you take it and you throw it on and you just kind of like mess it up a little and it looks great. She showed up with Cynthia Bailey and some of the other girls, and that was it. We never got to hear about like the divorce, the house, her little elementary school full of kids. I need to know where she's at and what's going on. And what's going on with Ariana and Brielle, the other one. I saw their little plastic surgery show that they were on with Michelle Visage. That was boring. I want to see what her life is. I'm nosy. I want to see like where's she living? What happened to the house? What happened to Corey Bierman? Is his butt still fat? It probably is. It's probably even bigger now because he's so stressed walking around that house. Like that crazy woman who takes money from her kids. Damn it. Okay. It's time to discuss Big Brother. Okay. Obviously, the elephant in the room is that Jason is a drag queen from LA. I know Jason. I've known Jason for a long time. Enjoy Jason. Like Jason. Was really excited to see Jason on the show. I just think things went left. When Miss Thing turned to Angela and started crying and sort of weaponizing grief in a way that I found to be very inappropriate and disgusting, and then turned to the camera and like giggled and like made a face. I didn't find that to be very sickening gameplay, especially because I love Big Brother. So I know, and we all know, if you watch Big Brother, you know the people who make the least disturbance often are at the end of the game. They at least make it to jury. And it's one of those things where you get to the end, you're like, oh shit, you're still here. There are several of those players right now. Chuck, one of those players. I frequently forget he's there. Some episodes I'm like, oh, Yash is, okay, he's still here. Okay, he's got those weird eyes though. You know, like people sometimes like, you know, they got the eyes. I'm not saying crack eyes, but I'm not saying that. You know the eyes. Girl, don't play with me like I'm being a bitch right now. Those are the eyes. You know, those are the eyes. It needs to stop. I do kind of live for Drew and I live for Barrett, but I do feel like because they are kind of playing both sides of the house, they're likely to end up on the block together. It's what I would do if I was in this situation. I'd put them both up together and see what happens. And the little straight girls, there's the blonde one whose name I can't remember, and the other one, Lyric with the showmance. That little fake breakup that they did wasn't fooling anyone. It wasn't fooling a single soul. So I'm excited to see what happens now. I know that girl whose name I can't remember. She's the muscular one. She's the HOH right now as of, by the time you see this, there'll have been the veto and the elimination, all that stuff. But she's the HOH right now, and she's beefing with that other girl, and she put her up because she said she was a bitch. But also she commented on her body. So who's a bitch first? How about that girl with the bob whose name I can't remember? Kayla or something. I don't know. I'm over her. I'm sick of her. I want her HOH to be over. I want someone else to win. You know what I'd love? Just for like the sake of, I'd love to see Drew as an HOH. I also just think he's incredibly cute and like he's the person that I would want to be friends with in the house. He's got that smile, that hair, like he's got that dumb, silly, straight boy humor that I live for. Like we would have a good time. We'd be friends in the house. Like that's who I think I would align with, and it probably wouldn't be a very good decision because of how he's playing the game right now, with him and Barrett kind of like not picking sides, and then also not really being shy about playing devil's advocate just a little too much when they talk game, especially with Devins. We saw that clip when they were outside and they were trying to save that girl. And Devins was like, why would you say that to me? This is bad gameplay. And it's true, it was. But I want them to stick around. I really do. I want them to at least make it to jury. Who's going to win this season? Probably someone very boring. Kamu needs to go. Kamu, out. Bye, girl. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Every time he opens his mouth, he gets uglier and uglier and uglier. And the delusion of him saying that he wants to leave Big Brother, be on Joe Rogan's podcast. He wants to do all these like incel podcasts, and he's like bragging about it. He's not shy about it. And he thinks he's going to end up in like a James Gunn movie. I swear he said this. I saw the clip. So no, I'm exhausted. Get her out. She's not even hot anymore. It used to be that you could keep the hot straight guys around and they would just kind of like be quiet. But no, he's talking too much, and I don't like it. I miss Rome. Bring Rome back. Can we do a swap? Can we get rid of Kamu and bring back Rome? He was so gorgeous and so nice. That's all. I don't know. I'm trying really hard. I'm also watching Project Runway. Why was Plain Jane on this season? She doesn't sew. She is not a designer. Project Runway is for people who want to design clothes and build a clothing career. Not for people who wear ugly wigs to get attention. I don't like that. Get off the TV. I mean, she's gone now. But why was she there to begin with? It's embarrassing. It kind of is shitty of production to add those kinds of characters onto a cast so big when there are people who are sickening designers who have careers ahead of them, who would love to showcase their work on that show. And you bring someone who does not design, has no interest in making clothes. We all know that she's not going to start a clothing brand. She's not going to design clothes and sell them. She's just going on there to be a reality TV personality. That's not what I watch Project Runway for. I like the personalities, but you're telling me there are no sassy gay guys with big personalities or sassy women with big personalities who also make sickening clothes and take it seriously and do a good job and try and don't wear horrible outfits and ugly wigs? Are you telling me that there's nobody like that? Girl, get out of here. I'm glad she's gone. I do think that the man who does the tailoring, Jude, I think is his name, I think he's probably going to win. He's my winner right now. Okay, we're back. Sorry, my camera overheated. The tea was too hot for her. The camera got hot and it turned off, so I did have to turn the AC back on. I think it'll be fine. I sat for a couple of minutes and like blow dried it with the cool setting because I got a blow dryer in here. And I think we're fine. I think we're good. Everybody calm down. It's going to be okay. We did discuss, we were talking about Project Runway. I think I was over it. Down Under versus the World. Oh my God. I need a moment. I don't consider myself to be one of those crazy like drag race fans that like goes off about shit. because I don't really care that much. I'm just here to be entertained. I understand. I know what the tea is. I know that it's like, it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. However, the stunt that was pulled to announce Raven as a contestant, which does make sense because this is the only season that RuPaul's not on, so she physically could compete on this season, and she probably would have won. But to have her do one episode and then the next episode go, oh, sorry, so she's actually a mole and she is the guest judge for just this episode. And then she goes home, back to Pacoima or wherever she lives. Why? Why not just make her a rotating judge? Because she's not, as far as I know, offering any tea or insight to Michelle that's going to influence anything. They just did that to get people to watch. That feels gross. That feels ugly, and that feels unkind. And that feels rude. Because what you're doing is you're baiting the audience into thinking that something that we've always wanted for years is finally happening. And then you go, just kidding. Sorry, it's not happening. I don't think so. That's not cute. That's not sickening. That's not cunty. That lacked charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, if you ask me. That was a very anti-that sort of move to make. But it was fun for an episode. And weirdly, it was like, I thought, wait, did you guys make this first episode a design challenge so she wouldn't have to get a runway made? Is that what's happening here? Did you say, girl, it's fine. Just bring an entrance look, and then you'll make the next thing. It's fine. We'll throw something together. It doesn't matter. You'll be safe anyway. So she wouldn't have to pay to get looks made. And then she was the guest judge for that next episode. Is that episode out? I think it is out. It is. I just didn't watch it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't watch it because I got so pissed off. And I tried to watch until the girl group challenge. But the music that they made was so terrible. And the performance was so bad that I just got so angry. And I turned to Canada's Drag Race All-Stars. Canada All-Stars. I like Canada. I like Brooklyn Heights. I love Paranka. Love Paranka. You all know my lore with Paranka, right? She's one of my favorite people that I would interview at DragCon every year. Hilarious. Beautiful, kind, friendly, always pleasant. I love her. She's one of the good ones. Jimbo, sickening, love her as a judge. She looks great every week. I love seeing drag queens on the panel. I love it. I think more franchises need to do it. But there's something about Canada specifically. One, the drama never really feels that manufactured. Sometimes, yeah, but for the most part, I feel like the girls are actually mad at each other. And I love that. I would love more anger, more violence. I'd love wigs to be snatched, shoes to be thrown. I love all that. Because that's what happens. That's what drag queens are like. We're not nice people. We're not pleasant people. People tend to confuse the sort of bitchiness with drag queens being funny, I guess. Maybe there's something about a dude in a wig and a dress calling you an evil bitch and like body shaming you that like is like, it's my friend. I love her. No. But I do like a little, the sort of like crunchiness of the Canada drag. Because, those girls, they love their human hair units. There's nothing I giggle at more than, a cis man with a cis man frame. You're looking at one right now. And a flat human hair unit. And you can't tell her she is not Britney Spears. With all those shoulders and all that forehead and that Neanderthal brow bone. But that flat 180 density human hair wig that she just did a little curling wand. That's fierce. That's the kind of drag delusion I want to watch. And I see a lot of that on Canada's Drag Race. Also, the lip syncs are pretty good, And the looks are great. Pythia, sickening, sexy, gorgeous. Michaela Couture. An icon. They just have like Semi Laundry. Oh my gosh. It really is. It kind of does harken back to the early seasons of US Drag Race and in the best way. And I just love Brooklyn Heights being there. I just love Canada's Drag Race. I think it's sickening. I love UK. I'm excited for that to be happening again soon. Down Under versus the World. I think I'm done. I think I've had enough. You know that meme where it was like, this meme. You know the meme I'm about to talk about versus or about Down Under, where someone was like, they posted a picture of season 2 of the Runway, and it's like the episode where Mystique Summers Madison is wearing the pants and the Dillard shirt that she got like at Belk or something, and that was the episode where she was like, I don't eat fried food, it messes up my skin, and everyone looked at her like it was like the doctor from 600 Pound Life was about to walk in and go, what? They posted that picture and they captioned it, I miss when drag was like this, and someone responded. They said, watch Down Under then. That's so evil. But it's so true. Because think about it like this. That part of the world, it's so hard to ship stuff. I've heard from queens from Australia and New Zealand that trying to get things like fabric and wigs and things it's just like, it's so expensive. It's so hard to find. So they kind of have to be crafty and make do with what they have. I'm very spoiled that I live in Los Angeles. I could go literally 15 minutes down the street and there's a fabric district, and I can buy this fabric right here and I can make this little dress. I can go to Santee Alley and buy this little dress, and then I can buy rhinestones and trims and wigs and things, and I can make things. That's why when LA girls go to Drag Race and they sometimes look the way they do, it makes me so angry, because there are queens in flyover states with no access who are at such a disadvantage compared to us girls in LA and New York and other big cities where we have a fabric district, we have designers, we have people, we have things, we have resources, we have access, and it just kind of doesn't happen. These are the things that keep me up at night. This is what drives me insane. This is what is going to make me start doing pills probably at some point. More than just the ginkgo biloba and the saffron and the ashwagandha or whatever the hell. I don't know. I do, before we go, and we're going to get into voicemails in just a moment, but I want to share with all of you, I am rereading the Heated Rivalry books. So, this is important. This is very important. I need you all to know this is a very important special interest of mine, because I read all the books that are out. I did pre-order the next book that's coming out, and I thought it was going to deliver in June. Turns out it's June 2027, so I did pre-order it. Hopefully I still live here when it comes, because I'm going to forget. But so season 1 of Heated Rivalry kind of summarizes the first 2 books of Heated Rivalry. Book number 1 is all about Scott and Kip. Book number 2 is Ilya and Shane. But they sort of combined books 1 and 2 into the series and kind of made it seem like Shane and Ilya were the main characters, and they kind of are. It's fair. They are. So books 3, 4, 5, and so on are each about a different couple. So I don't know how season 2 of the TV show is going to work, because I know that Shane and Ilya are in it, but there's literally 2 books for season 2, or season 1 is 2 books. Then there's like 3 books with barely any Shane and Ilya in them at all. And then the final book is Shane and Ilya, but it's like 10 years later. So I don't know how they're going to do this. I did see a casting notice for the characters of the 2nd and 3rd book. No, the 3rd and 4th book, technically. But I just don't know how they're going to tie that in with Ilya and Shane. A lot of the books, too, what people don't realize is the books overlap. So the timeline of one book is here, but then randomly a character will pop in and say something, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then you don't realize this, but that person that just walked in and said something in passing is now the main character of the next book, and now you're seeing that same interaction from their perspective. Are you with me on this? The timelines overlap. So that's why when I finished all the books, I thought, well, I want to go back and reread them again, because now I know who these people are. So when Eric Bennett was in the room with Scott Hunter when he came out of the closet, and Eric was like, wow, that's cool. We don't know yet that Eric Bennett is actually gay himself and has a whole book devoted to him and how he finds love with the bartender Kyle at the bar that Kip goes to. And Kyle is in season 1, and they say, oh my God, Kyle. And they address him, and he has like dialogue with Kip. And Kyle has the crush on Kip, but Kip loves Scott Hunter, and he's jealous. And then Scott Hunter's like best friends with Eric Bennett. Eric Bennett's going through a divorce. Eric Bennett comes to the bar, meets Kyle because he's with Scott, because Scott's gay now, and he's allowed to go to gay bars. And so he brings his best friend Eric, who he thinks is straight, to the gay bar. Eric falls in love with the bartender Kyle, and the 4 of them become friends. But no Shane, no Ilya in all of this. So I have no clue how this is going to happen, but I can't wait to see how this turns out. That's all. Should we get into some voicemails, perhaps? Thank you for your enthusiasm. Thank you so much. I do have several here, and some of them are very concerning. Let's start with this one.
Are you gay, you stupid queer? I hate queers. I'm homophobic.
Thank you so much for that. And I also am a little homophobic myself, so that's fine. This is another one that's really great. I'd love for you to hear this one.
Bro, like 2 weeks ago, I stole a jar of pickles, and I don't even like pickles.
Thank you so much for that. That's really fierce. I don't like pickles, but there is something about taking something that's not yours that feels very American. So thank you. What's next? Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. What's this one?
Hey, it's little Johnny and just wanted to say hi.
Hi, I guess. Bitch. What's this one? Oh.
What's up, baby girl? Well, you sound fucking hot.
Ooh.
But anyways, get back at me at 818.
Oh my God, not the phone number. Oh my God.
I would like to meet up and have some fun. Or if you're not down, shoot me some friends this way.
Oh my God.
You feel me? Or we go out just have fun, right?
Is that it? Okay. There's like 30 seconds left. Is it just silence? I think it's just silence. Okay. Thank you so much for your message. This was a very long time ago. Okay. This man gave me his phone number. Should I call him? It's been like a year. All right. There are some that are very interesting. There's this one that's really great.
Kill yourself.
Love that one. Probably from my uncle or something. Anyway, I think next week's voicemails are going to be much more sickening and much more fierce. So thank you all for your contributions to this episode. I appreciate you all for coming. Please subscribe to the channel. And as they say, like, comment down below your thoughts on everything we discussed today. Do you eat feet? Chicken or otherwise, or human or pig or whatever? Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Jordan. You can follow me at Jordan Jayro everywhere. You can follow the podcast at HeyGirlPod on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, please, so my dog can have a Christmas. And follow me on Instagram. And give me a phone call. That phone number, once again, is 213-421-1422. Please call me. Leave a sickening voicemail. Is that it? Are we done? Is it time to get out of drag and have a snack? Wow. Thank you all so much for watching and for listening. And until next time, have a fabulous life. Bye-bye.